Hello, Brooklyn. There you go. Good morning. What a glorious morning it is. And Mr. Mayor, my colleagues at Greenland and Forest City, Chairman Jong, honored guests and friends. What a wonderful day to start an incredible project here in Brooklyn. The groundbreaking on a building that will be 100% affordable for a wide range of New Yorkers. That's 298 units of affordable housing. Let me say it again, 100% affordable, 298 units of affordable housing. Our architect, Rick Cook, has so eloquently described in this video a building which will have great architecture with a capital A and still will be affordable. It will reflect the history and the texture of Brooklyn with its beautiful brownstones and neighborhoods. There are a lot of people to thank today, and in the program, you will hear so many of their names. But today it's my privilege to start with our most critical partner, a man that I've known for many years as a city council member, as our public advocate, and of course, as our mayor, that is Mayor de Blasio. Interestingly enough, he has been a supporter of this project from the very beginning. And those of you who have followed this project know that there were not a lot of supporters in the beginning, and there were not a lot of supporters who stuck it out. And Mayor, thank you for that. It shows your courage and your never wavering support. He did it when very few believed. The housing and the most important part of this project has been the affordable housing. It's been an important part from the very beginning. And Mayor de Blasio has understood the enormous need for affordable housing in our city, and he's challenged all of us, whether it be construction people or development people, to help make this city reach an absolutely critical goal to create and preserve 200,000 housing units in a decade. And Mr. Mayor, we are bound and determined as an industry and a community to meet your goal, and we're going to be able to do it, and we know we are, and this starts your beginning of your program of 100% affordable housing. Last summer, the mayor with Governor Cuomo worked with us to expedite the schedule, to make sure that we started a building before the end of the year, and here we are. We've worked with the city, we've worked with the state, and especially Deputy Mayor Alicia Glenn, HPD Commissioner Vicki Bean, and Gary Rodney, Chairman of HCC, and of course our wonderful partners at Greenland Group, and we've met the challenge and we've accelerated the delivery of affordable housing units. And I'd like to say a special word of thank you to Marianne Gilmartin, our CEO, who will speak. But Marianne, thank you for leading our company, for doing so much, for doing much that I could not have done. And one of the great things I've done is been able to work with Marianne. And Marianne, you've done an extraordinary job and given me a very wonderful year. So thank you. It's been a great year. I don't have to work as hard, Marianne. So Mr. Mayor, I want to applaud your vision and I want to thank you for your wonderful support. So friends, I would like to introduce the Mayor of the City of New York, Bill de Blasio. Bill.
Thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you, everyone, for being here. There are very few phrases I like better than 100% affordable housing. So this program is off to a good start. I want to thank Bruce. He has been a partner throughout, and Bruce is someone who truly cares for Brooklyn and for the city. Remember, long ago, served in this city government, he has continued his passionate commitment to this city. I want to thank you for that, Bruce. I want to thank you for today's accomplishment. It's something to be very proud of. A new phase begins today, something a lot of us have been waiting for a long time, something that is a harbinger of things to come. So the next phase of what I still will remember as Atlantic Yards, now Pacific Park, begins today. And in June, we had a series of conversations about the need to move forward and move forward rapidly with this development, get it to the original vision again, achieve what so many of us hope for who supported it from the beginning. And part of this was to really ensure that we maximized and front-loaded our commitment to affordable housing. We knew we had to start now in this year. This groundbreaking is a symbol of our accelerated commitment to realizing the dream, the full dream of this development. And 535 Carlton, to me, this is exactly what we came here to do. 298 units, all affordable. This is a symbol of what we intend to do with our affordable housing plan over and over and over. Now, before I go on, I want to thank a number of people who are here today. I especially want to thank community leaders, community residents who are here, elected officials. A lot of people have been a part of this for a long time. I want to give a special thank you to Reverend Daughtry, who I've worked with for many years. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all of the participants in this effort. We are joined today by Chairman Zhang, the chairman and president of the Greenland Group, and we are pleased to be working as partners in this effort. We're joined by the Deputy Consul General for the Chinese government, Cheng Lei. We're joined by members of my administration, Gary Rodney, the president of HDC, and Rick Chandler, our buildings commissioner. We're joined by our partner at the state level, Ken Adams, the president of the Empire State Development Corporation, and then my colleagues in elective office who have been absolutely devoted to the cause of affordable housing, and there is a pure unity on this point, that this is what the people of the city are demanding that we have to produce. I want to thank Borough President Eric Adams, Councilmember Lori Kumbo, and Councilmember Brad Lander for their partnership, and my colleagues from Labor, who have been so devoted to ensuring that we build affordable housing. I would like to thank, on behalf of all of them, Gary LaBarbera, the president of the Building and Construction Trades. This is a group effort to change things in this city, to create affordable housing, to create jobs, to ensure this can be a place where New Yorkers can afford to live. There are so many people in our community here in Brooklyn, and it's my community. I could walk to my real home. I like to say I've been temporarily transferred to a government facility on the Upper East Side, but I am a Brooklynite at heart. I could walk to my real home from here. For our community, which has seen not years but decades of rising costs and gentrification, this development offers the chance to have a huge number of affordable units that people from this community can live in and continue to be Brooklynites. And that, to me, is a fundamental goal, that people can stay in the city they love, can stay in the boroughs they love, can be a part of their community. Even as our city changes, our goal is to create the affordable housing to maintain all of our diversity as a city, which is our strength, including our economic diversity. That's what this kind of effort will achieve. Now, I say that because I did support this development from the beginning, because I saw what was happening around us. And I knew if we didn't change the dynamic, people would just be priced out over and over again. We had to build affordable housing. It was the only alternative. And this is allowing us to do it on a very substantial scale. And by the way, in the process, creating a lot of jobs, both construction jobs and permanent jobs, which our communities need. I've talked a lot about the tale of two cities. Maybe at this exact location, a lot of people in the immediate surrounding area are doing well. You don't have to go very far from here to find a lot of people who are struggling, who are looking for affordable housing, who are looking for jobs. This development offers that opportunity. I also want to thank, and we're going to hear from her in a bit, but I want to do a special thank you to a colleague I've worked with for many years who particularly shared that vision of responding to changing conditions by creating affordable housing. That's Bertha Lewis. And I had the honor even though she's shy, from time to time Bertha does speak up. And I had the honor of working with her at Acorn and now in her work at the Black Institute. And she had a clear sense of the fundamentals here. Without affordable housing, people wouldn't be able to live in Brooklyn anymore. It's as simple as that. It was our job to break through and create something different. Now, the truth is what attracted me to this project was the housing. Barclays Center is a great facility, but what attracted me was the housing and the job creation and the opportunities that come with it. But Barclays Center has brought extraordinary positive changes because People throughout Brooklyn are benefiting from what happens at the Barclays Center. It's been a great boost to local businesses. It's been an employment center, and I want to thank Bruce and Mary Ann. They said from the beginning they wanted to focus on hiring locally and hiring people from neighborhoods of Brooklyn who needed more opportunity. And I want to thank you because you kept that promise, and that means a lot to all of us. Barclays Center also, I believe, will be the home of the 2016 Democratic Convention, and that will be a great thing for New York City. But again, to me, that was not the core. The core was the housing. And the housing, and I say this in front of my friends and colleagues, the housing wasn't moving fast enough, and we needed to break through, and we needed to find a different approach. And I said way back when I first supported this project as a council member, it's the job of all of us to make sure that a vision is adhered to. When Bertha and so many community leaders, Reverend Daughtry, so many people said, we need this to be done the way it has been outlined, that was a commitment we all joined into. Now, we saw a turn, a fundamental turn towards a speeding up of this process, towards a deepening of the commitment this summer. And I want to thank Governor Cuomo and his team who worked with us, who worked with Forest City Ratner. Everyone got on the same page. And we said the city government's going to take responsibility here as well to make sure this gets where it has to go. So one of the things we did, which is, I think, the most important part of this whole step forward, is we cut the timeline for affordable housing. We said we have to fulfill the entire commitment, and it has to happen 10 years earlier than the previous agreement. So now we will see 2,250 affordable units by 2025. In the next 11 years, 2,250 affordable units. That was supposed to be a deadline of 2035. Again, by the agreement of the city, state, and Forest City Ratner, that deadline will now be 2025. And that, by the way, my friends, makes a huge difference to hundreds and hundreds of families who will get that affordable housing that much earlier. I remind you, when we say 200,000 units of affordable housing, we're talking about enough housing for about 500,000 people. That is more people than live in the city limits of Atlanta or Miami or Kansas City. This is a huge endeavor and fundamentally necessary for our city. It can't wait. So we are thrilled that what's happening here at this development now aligns to our timeline. And it is a question of speed. It's also a question of front-loading the affordable housing. So 535 Carlton will have twice as many affordable units as the first building that was started here at this development, B2. B2, still under construction, 50% affordability is the goal. In the new 535 Carlton, 100% affordable. And a big increase in the number of 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom apartments, meaning apartments for families, who will be the backbone and the future of this community. That, to us, is how we fulfill the original vision. Now, a lot of community residents have rightfully felt over the years that their voices needed to be heard more clearly, and they needed to know what was going on, and they needed to be a part of the process, and they called for the creation of a community development corporation. And that is also a part of this new plan, to have a community development corporation that will speak for the community, connect for the community, that we in the city government will work with closely to make sure that this development works for everyone. I remind you, this plan, 200,000 units, is the most ambitious affordable housing plan by any city in the history of this country. But we have to get there. It's necessary to preserve New York City as we know it, as we love it, that it be a place for everyone. So many families have been crushed by the burden of rising housing costs. It has undermined their lives. It has, in many cases, forced people out of the city they love, or so many others are just hanging on by a thread. We have to address that at the heart of the matter. A lot of that has to do with things we're going to do to raise wages and benefits and address other parts of people's lives. But the number one expense for all of us is housing. If we bring that expense down for hundreds of thousands of people, it will keep this city a place for everyone. And that is something we fundamentally believe in. To date this year, 10,800 affordable units have been financed under our plan. We are on a track for over 16,000 units by December 31st. So a strong start to our 10-year plan. It will be, obviously, you'll see the effects in all 5 boroughs in every kind of neighborhood. Last week, we broke ground also on 100% affordable development for seniors in the Bronx. We've made major strides on other developments like Astoria Cove, getting more affordability than in previous developments because of mandatory inclusionary zoning. You're going to see a number of efforts as we go into the new year to speed up the process of moving development that achieves affordable housing, upping the ante so we get more affordable housing, producing it more quickly. We're going into 2015 committed to this mission. You're going to see a lot more next year. A few words in Spanish, if I may. Hoy comenzamos a construir vivienda asequible para cientos de familias en Brooklyn. Hemos acelerado la construcción en el proyecto de Atlantic Yards para ayudar a más neoyorquinos que los necesitan. Esto es otro paso en nuestro plan de construir o preservar 200,000 unidades de vivienda asequible por toda la ciudad. And with that, I say, Bruce, muchas gracias.
Sounds good to me. Mayor, that sounds good to me. The accent was absolutely perfect. Thank you. You know, it's pretty remarkable. The mayor's been in for less than a year, and look what's been done, whether it be pre-K or housing or pushing this project along, something called Vision Zero, which is very, very important. And most incredibly is security and safety of our city this year will be the safest city we've ever had. So he's done all that and kept us safe and clean and neat. And I must say, you speak very well in all languages. Thank you. And plus, we're going to get the convention. And we're going to get the convention, aren't we? We're going to get the convention. So, you know, it always takes government to do things with private sector and development. And that's true whether it be our mayor here in the city or whether it's even true in China. And so we're honored today to have with us the Deputy General Counsel from the People's Republic of China, Mr. Cheng Lei. Mr. Cheng Lei.
Mayor Bill de Blasio, Chairman of Greenland Group, Mr. Zhang Yuliang, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. 早上好. It is my great pleasure to join you in witnessing Pacific Park Brooklyn affordable housing groundbreaking ceremony this morning. First, on behalf of our Consul General of the People's Republic of China in New York, Ambassador Sun Guoxiang, we would like to extend our warmest congratulations to Greenland Forest City partners. This groundbreaking ceremony, as I said, first represents a vote of confidence by China. Though the United States is still confronting the repercussions of the world financial crisis, your country remains a top destination, both for China and for the rest of the world, with favorable investment environment. Confidence is simply more precious than gold. This ceremony is also a commitment of Greenland Forest City partners, not only in building this affordable housing with adequate efficiency and quality, but in shouldering its due corporate social responsibility by Greenland Group that will generate tangible benefits to all New Yorkers. Ladies and gentlemen, this year, the year 2014, marks the 35th anniversary of diplomatic relations between our two countries. Over the past 35 years, our bilateral relationship has achieved historic development despite ups and downs. and has become one of the most important and dynamic bilateral relations in the world. President Obama paid a state visit to China just 1 month ago in Beijing, during which our two heads of state reaffirmed their consensus to build a new model of major country relationship featuring no conflict or confrontation, mutual respect and win-win cooperation. With our bilateral trade volume exceeding 500 billion US dollars, and our two-way investment surpassing 100 billion US dollars, our two countries have become interdependent partners for business cooperation. We hope and believe that this new model of major country relationship will bring greater prosperity to both our two great nations and the world at large. In conclusion, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation and gratitude to the municipal government of New York City and other relevant authorities and the various agencies which make this project possible, and wish you a more prosperous new year, the year of the sheep. Thank you. In 2015. Thank you.
There you go, the year of the sheep. Thank you very much, Mr. Sheng. So now I have a particular honor today, and it's to introduce someone who I call a friend, and it is a friend in a real way. We met a little over a year ago, and we instantly got along, and in fact, I will tell you, this deal was cut in about a half a day with 2 or 3 of us in a room going back and forth, and it was cut with the chairman of Greenland Company and Greenland Group, Mr. Zhang. And it was a very special, unusual occasion. The term sheet was about a page long, and it was a handshake kind of deal, and it really has been that. And Mr. Zhang and I decided from that day on we would be friends, and we are friends. So let me just say something. Construction and development is not easy. It requires a lot of planning, it requires vision, it requires every aspect of strategy and thinking as a business person. And we're fortunate to have found Greenland, because Greenland Group is one of, if not the largest development company in the world. And they have tremendous expertise. And it's the kind of expertise which has helped us a great deal. This is a very unusual venture. This is a venture where Greenland is a developer also. They sit with us in our office, 10, 15 people from China and Greenland next to our people, and we work together as a partnership. It is not just an investment, it is a partnership. And the one thing that pleases me most of all is that we sit with people from China, whether it's coming to Thanksgiving with us or coming to our events together, we are really one team. And I have to compliment Chairman Zhang in being able to do that. It's a highly unusual event to have 2 companies, both be developers, work together so well. It bodes very, very well for the future of this country and for the future of the world. To be able to work on a personal basis with a company like this in a real way where we feel that the people we work with are part of our family and vice versa. And I think the greatest honor I can give to Mr. Zhang today is to create one of the great companies in the world. It is among the 300 largest companies on the Fortune 500 World Index, and it will be getting bigger and bigger. So I'd like to introduce a very special person, a person who was my friend, who's built an incredible company throughout the world, Mr. Chairman Zhang. Right over there.
非常感谢布鲁斯先生的精彩的主持，
Thank you
非
for
常
the
感
nice
谢
words,
白市长
Mr. Bruce.
非常感谢我们陈总领
Thank
事
you,
的
Mayor
最重要的
Chen
讲话。
Thank you, Deputy Consul General Chen Lei.
尊敬的白世豪市长，尊敬的陈雷副总领事，尊敬的布鲁斯主席 ，Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Respected Mayor de Blasio, Deputy Consul General Mr. Chen Lei, Mr. Bruce Ratner, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
今天我们满怀激情，以希望的相聚在这里， 迎来了一个值得庆贺和铭记的我们公共租赁房的开工奠基。首先，请允许我代表绿地集团，向关心支持这一项目，向纽约市政府、布鲁克林区政府、中国总领事馆、纽约总领事馆等各方面给予此项目的支持，以及各位嘉宾的光临表示感谢和热烈的欢迎。
Today, with hope and passion, we're here to welcome a day of celebration and remembrance because of the groundbreaking of 535 Cotton Avenue. First of all, please allow me, on behalf of the Greenland Group, to express my sincere gratitude to the New York City government, the Brooklyn Borough government, the Consulate General of China, and all our partners who have been offering us support and care and facilitating the smooth progress of the project. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of our distinguished guests here.
纽约享有世界之都的美誉，它繁华的景象无数次点燃各国投资者心中的梦想，绿地集团也是其中之一。
New York enjoys a reputation of capital of the world, and her bustling prosperity has been lighting up dreams of international investors, including the Greenland Group.
去年的冬天，我们企业的形象片在纽约时代广场的大屏幕上点亮。1年后的今天，我们与我们的友好合作伙伴森林城公司一起在这里举行公租房的开工典礼，这令我倍加振奋和自豪。
In the last winter, our corporate image was displayed on the Times Square electronic billboards. And in 1 year's time, we are here, together with our friendly partner, the Forest City Redness Companies, to have the groundbreaking of 535 Cotton Avenue. This makes me thrilled and proud.
绿地集团是全球最大的房地产开发企业之一，我们的业务已经遍及了包括美国在内的亚欧、欧美4大洲100个城市。
Greenland Group is one of the largest real estate developers in the world. We have projects in more than 100 cities over 4 continents, including Asia, Australia, Europe, and America.
今天我们项目的开工，不仅带来了高达50亿美金的投资总额，还将创造上千个就业岗位和数亿美金的税收，并为纽约中低收入家庭提供2000多套的廉租房的以及教院、公园等设施。我们将以中国投资者的力量，为促进纽约经济繁荣与城市发展做出积极的贡献。
Our investment amounts to over $5 billion and will create thousands of jobs and hundreds of millions of tax revenue. It will also add more than 2,000 units of affordable rentals for the low and middle income New York families, and also schools and parks. As a Chinese investor, we will play a positive role in enhancing the economic flourish and urban development of New York City.
Ladies and gentlemen, 此时此刻，我们公租房在布鲁克林区动工，这是布鲁克林区纽约城市的发展的喜事，也是中美友好合作交流的喜事。
Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, the groundbreaking is starting right away. This is a joyous occasion for both the New York urban development and the friendly exchanges and cooperation between China and the United States.
我相信，在我们大家的努力下，这个项目一定会获得大放异彩，成为纽约又一座精彩无比的城市的新地标和市民的民生工程。
I truly believe that our joint efforts will bring revitalization to this project and make it another fascinating new urban landmark in New York.
最后，我再次感谢各位嘉宾、各位朋友，祝大家新年愉快，万事胜意。Thank you very much.
Thank you again, distinguished guests. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
My name is Yifei Zhang. I'm the CEO President of Greenland USA. It is my honor here to present to you our company vision, and also thank you so much for Chairman's presence here. I would like to extend also a very warm welcome to everyone to join us today for being part of our wonderful ceremony. On behalf of Greenland USA and our chairman, I would like to personal thanks to Mayor de Blasio and also our partner, Bruce and Marianne, and also Bureau President Adam, and also ESDC President Ken, and of course our honored guest, Mr. Chen Lei, the General Counsel. It is truly an honor that the mayor is here today to mark this momentous occasion. He has been an incredible partner to making this day, and also to deliver this project to us. And this project will be a successful project. The mayor's tireless effort for affordable housing is also accessible to many more families, make this groundbreaking possible. And I'm so grateful for his leadership on behalf of the whole community. I would like to also thanks to the chairman of Greenland Group for being a part of today's ceremony. I would like also to thank to everyone in Greenland Group and also Forest City Enterprise, and of course our joint venture team members for your everyday effort to make this day possible, and also to make this event very, very successful. And today is a celebration. I would like to congratulate to Bruce and also Marianne, our valued partner and friend at Forest City Rentner. Together, we have made such a remarkable amount of progress. And this project just still closed by end of June, and just barely half a year, we have made this successful commitment to the city, to the community for this first affordable housing. And it is such a pleasure to work with you both and also our team. I here, for one, I can already feel the excitement in the air. And all of us of Greenland USA are thrilled that this day has come and we break ground on the next iconic landmark in the Great Borough of Brooklyn. We are very grateful to all of these people who make the day possible, including so many venture partners and also the union. And also so many of them, of you today in the audience, make it possible. As you may know, Greenland is now in New York. We are, of course, new to the market. With Greenland Group's expansion into this market, and then the company's rapid growth in 22 years, from a very humble beginning of $3 million, now grow to a big company of a $60 billion company, to our current standing as the #1 developer in China, #1 residential developer in China. We are extremely proud and excited to have launched Greenland USA and begun working in New York City on such an important and historical project. For years, our company has been building so many of the world's most iconic properties, especially mixed-use development and the luxury properties. At this moment, on the other side of the global in China, we are nearly completion on the third highest skyscraper in the world. Our company's vision is based on cities with a global impact, such as Brooklyn. And Brooklyn is more and more one of the most important cities in the world. In a few years, the ground we are standing on today will be a thriving and modern, accessible, and diverse mixed-use development that will include more than just housing, but open space, 8 acres of public green space, and a public school, and very exciting retail and world-class community facilities. We all know that Brooklyn also makes its day when Will and also Kat come visit the Barclays Arena and also enjoy the game. So today, like our partner at the Forest City Rentner, we will continue to invest in Brooklyn's economic, not just today, not just tomorrow, but for a very long terms. I think through our very strong and committed partnership with Forest City Rentner and also with Mayor de Blasio, we are very happy to work together towards the bringing much needed affordable housing to the community. We are committed to doing everything we can to keep this neighborhood a diverse, affordable, and accessible neighborhood for all the New Yorkers. We will be proudly continue to work with the community to deliver affordable housing, new retail, opportunities, and also more public accessible open space to also connect to the mass transit hub, of course. And we are confident that the Pacific Park is a project that all our Brooklyn Niners will be very proud of. While today is our first groundbreaking ceremony, this occasion for the community and for the city will soon become a familiar thing. We will groundbreak more and more buildings. We expect to groundbreak the next affordable housing, also 100% affordable housing next June. We are looking forward to the next opportunity to create more jobs and put more people to work for this great city of Brooklyn. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here, to work with our partner, and also to work with the community, and also to work with the Bureau. And we want to make this great project into a reality. And now I would like to also introduce to you, Marianne, our valued partner, and also the president and CEO of the Forest City Rental Companies.
Thank you, Ife. In such a short time, you've become such a great partner and a great friend. Today is about opportunity, opportunity for our company, opportunity for our venture, but it's also about responsibility. And we take that responsibility very seriously. And we look forward to building buildings that make Brooklyn proud. This important milestone symbolizes for our company one of the most intense, monumental, and global collaborations we have ever undertaken. Every tireless hand that has touched this development to the person, and there are so many of them, was critical to the mission. Design, develop, finance, brand, and certify Pacific Park Brooklyn's first all-affordable mixed-use building. The folks that deserve acknowledgement and accolades are far too many to list. We thank them all. A few special shout-outs are in order, though. A special thank you to our talented team, Rick Cook and the Cook Fox team, for the beautifully sensitive and appropriate architecture. Bob Sana and Melissa Birch, and their talented teams, especially Shweta Subramanian, their tireless, fierce determination to get to today. About an hour ago, with the help of Gary Rodney and his team, our financing closed. That would not be possible without Chris Clayton, Howard Klein, Olivia Corridor, and Russell Zuckerman. Thank you. I also want to thank Ashley Cotton for her wisdom and her stewardship in communicating our plan to the community. And in this extraordinary cultural coordination, I thank Jeff Rosen, Mr. Shujian, and Mr. who represent our joint venture with grace, skill, and effectiveness. And of course, I want to thank our dedicated partners in the Community Benefits Agreement who are here today. I also want to thank the men and women who build our buildings. And as you know, it is the Forest City Ratner building. It is a building that is built with the great unions of New York City. And I want to particularly thank Gary LaBarber, our partner, for being such a great partner in building our projects. I want to thank Bruce Ratner for his unstoppable determination to prevail. This has been a long and bruising battle for Bruce Ratner. Many would never care enough to even embark upon this journey, never mind stay with it for over a decade. His tenacity and his conviction is on display here today, a towering conviction that could not be swayed. So thank you, Bruce. Finally, without our partners in government, we would not be here today. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Glenn, Commissioner Vicky Bean, Gary Rodney for your leadership and your committed teams to making today possible. And so now I have the great honor of introducing our next speaker, our New York State partner, President of ESD, our partner in every step of the way, and a fellow Brooklynite, Ken Adams.
Thank you, Marianne, very much. Good morning, everyone. A special tribute to our friends at the Chinese consulate and to the Deputy Consul General who is here on behalf of Ambassador Sun, who has for close to 4 years now represented China here in New York City. But there's a technicality with respect to that, and it's that actually the consulate of China in New York City covers 10 states, not just New York. And Ambassador Sun, sadly, leaves. His post is, he's leaving his post. His assignment here is up, and Saturday he flies back to Beijing. Now, I've tried to say this to him several times, but as a diplomat, he won't always agree. I say, Ambassador Sun, there are 10 states in your domain, but there's only one, New York. There's only one New York City, and indeed, and I think this morning it's quite evident, there's only one Brooklyn. The role of the state here has been critical, as Marianne noted, since the inception of this project, going back to when Bruce first really brought it to our attention. That's at least 3 governors ago. The mayor described some intense activity back in June, which others have referred to, and I briefly just want to mention a little bit about that. It was the 2 women on this stage that have made this happen, Marianne Gilmartin and Yifei Chang. Remember, there were quite a number of trips, Bruce and Marianne going to Shanghai to meet with the Greenland Group and to secure their investment. But in the end, Yifei Chang and Marianne Gilmartin, by securing the Greenland investment, created an opportunity. The opportunity in June was pretty simple. Remember that Atlantic Yards or Pacific Park is bound by a development agreement actually signed into an agreement signed many, many years ago when the project first began. And as our General Counsel Liz Fine at ESDC or David Berliner at Forest City and others would note, this is a complicated agreement, the development agreement between the state and the developers to build out the whole project. But June, as I say, in June we had this special opportunity. Because of the Greenland investment, the development agreement needed to be modified and would have to take a new trip back to the ESDC board. And that opened up a series of possibilities. Most notably, as the mayor mentioned, it gave a chance for us to rework, at the mayor's request, the affordable housing component of the project. It gave us a chance to shorten the time frame of the project by 10 years. Very significant, as the mayor mentioned. And it also created an opportunity we hadn't had in a long time, which was really quite significant, a new chance for the community to voice concerns and interests in the project. And to that, a debt of gratitude to the local elected officials that are here, to Brooklyn Speaks, Dean Street Block Association, and many other civic organizations and people for a long time involved in the project that also in June were all part of this very active reworking of the development agreement. And as a result, by the way, of their advocacy, a third achievement was the creation of a new Atlantic Yards Community Development Corporation, which in the new year will provide a new organization for ongoing community input and guidance of this project in the years that it's built out. All of that happened in June. It was an intense month. We celebrate those successes here today as we move forward in the next phase of the project, first with this building, and then the many more to come. On behalf of New York State Governor Andrew M. Cuomo, our warmest congratulations to the Greenland Group, to Forest City Ratner, again to all of the community leaders, elected officials, and others who have been a part of this, and indeed to my good friend, whom I'm about to bring up to the microphone now, Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams.
stated that this year is the year of the sheep. The mayor has clearly been bullish on the issue of affordable housing, and we cannot commend him enough. This is not an insignificant moment taking place on the stage of public housing history. As we look out at this area, I think it is personified in my conversation with Mary Ann and her son as we gather together. What type of city and borough are we going to live in? As the mayor continues to define the beautiful tapestry of human experience in this borough, a unit of 100% affordable housing is sending a clear signal to countless number of Brooklynites who are asking the question, would Brooklyn and is Brooklyn going to remain affordable? This building is an exclamation point. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Right here in the shadow of this community is where I spent many years of policing. And I realized how so many of our Brooklynites believe that this community would change right before their eyes. And Bruce Ratner and Mary Ann and the team stated no, it will not. And they gave a commitment and promise, and that promise is lived out today. And so although the Pacific Ocean may divide our countries, Pacific Avenue has united our communities together with China and America having a joint venture together to define how we are going to be partners globally to ensure that all can participate in housing. Housing is not a four-wall place. It's a precursor to sleep so you can experience the American dreams. And in the shadows of these buildings are homeless shelters where countless number of people are living a nightmarish reality that home is not a place for them. The mayor said, not under my watch. We will continue to find ways to bring people into housing. So we have to thank those who are not part of the main building that you won't see every day, like a Bertha Lewis and a James Caldwell and a Reverend Herbert Daughtry and Councilman Levin. We are partners in this together. And it's going to take vision and visionaries. And yes, Bruce Ratner was a visionary. He saw what we can do regardless of the obstacle. And each time he hit a bend in the road, he realized it was not the end of the road because he made the turn and continued us on the journey to now putting a shovel in the ground to unearth the capacity to build a building and in the process burying the past that says we can't live together in New York and we can't live together in New York and Brooklyn. I'm happy to be the borough president. I wore that blue uniform as a cop for 22 years of my life, and now as borough president, I'm going to watch this borough continue to grow. 47% of this borough speaks a language other than English at home. The largest Asian community outside of Asia is in Brooklyn. We are the place that would define how human beings will live together in the future, and as the borough president, I'm going to make sure that every day I live up to that responsibility. Thank you for this project.
To the People's Republic of China. Welcome to the People's Republic of Brooklyn. I'm so proud to be here today with our chairman and our mayor, our borough president, our new friends and our colleagues in this development, and some of our old friends who were here, who worked with us so hard on this development for affordable housing that I believe captures the spirit and the promise not only of our great city, but of this great borough. Bruce and Mary Ann never, ever, ever, never gave up. They are truly development gangsta. All right? First, I have to mention a very special person who is on the job. This woman works like incredibly crazy. Ismini Spiliotis of Man Mutual Housing Association of New York. She's the executive director and came up with the tiered income requirements and the 50-50 plan, housing genius. You're in Queens, Ismini, in court. Don't stay there all day. But back in the day, over 10 years ago, you know, Ismini and I, people used to hate to see us coming. Now, Gary LaBarbera, who's our friend and colleague today, some of his predecessors weren't always happy to see us. You know, here was Ismini and I, right? We tried to get them to have fun, but they wouldn't do it. And our colleague, the late John Kest, whose name is now on the intersection of Flatbush and Nevins, and so anybody in a luxury apartment has to look down and see John Kest. So, tribute to John, who would have been here today. We wanted to figure out a new way to do this, not only to be able to create affordable housing, but also to provide a template and a model for the rest of the country. John Kest is with us here today. Who you think brought this weather? Right? I mean, we've been rained on and it's been horrible, but today the sun is so bright that you gotta wear shades. It's an omen, ladies and gentlemen. It's an omen. I wanna think there's a vision that we've had here of diversity. It's rooted in diverse neighborhoods. I really want to acknowledge some folks because this journey has been full of pitfalls and potholes, which the mayor will fix right away, slings and arrows and all kinds of adversity, but we still persevere. To John Kest's successor at New York Communities for Change, please stand up, ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Weston, a new force to be reckoned with. Bruce was gangster, but there's some OGs, some original gangsters who had the original idea of putting together a community benefits group. And I want to take a shout out to our former Assembly member, Roger Green, and also to Mr. Caldwell, big Mr. C, who sat in a diner with me years ago. Also, I saw Bishop Finlater, who's here from Cush, who was a signatory as clergy to that agreement. But to my posse and my gang, and I want y'all all to stand up as I call out your names, Reverend Norma Maupins of B, Joe Coelho of BVC, all the Daughtry, Sharon, Karen, Lorenzo, Reverend Dr. Daughtry, Lynn Britton from NYSAM, Charlene Nimmons from PHCC Public Housing. Thank you all. These are your OGs right here. We've got some new friends, but we got some true friends, those who hung in there with us. Now, I'm going to ask that you all keep your seats. You know how this is. You know, it has to be all choreographed and everything. And then we want to show our new Chinese colleagues that we know how to do ritual too. This is the new building. We broke ground last December on what some people call the Lego building at B2. Everything is awesome. Y'all know that, right? Well, everything is awesome. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, we want the press to come down so that you can go over to the right. You all stay seated until we can get ourselves together. Some people like to dish the dirt. But guess what? We gonna dig the dirt and let it fly. Thank you all for being here. Thank you.